It's a fascinating thing, hermanos y hermanas, how you see yourself, what your image of yourself is. It's an even more fascinating thing how you see other people, how you see the world. When I was younger, and I'm still young, at least I keep telling myself that, I used to love to go to amusement parks. I live in Orlando, next to Brother Mickey and Sister Minnie, Cousin Donald. And there's a place called the Fun House. Say with me, the Fun House. In the Fun House, there's this place called the Hall of Mirrors. Have you ever been to one of these places? And there are all kinds of mirrors that reflect images of you. My favorite one is the tall one because it makes me look slightly slimmer than I am. I look good, but slightly slimmer than I am. And I like standing there. There's another one that makes me look really, really tiny. There's another one that makes me look really, really husky, big boned. And all of them are mirrors, but not all of them are true reflections of who I am. Estoy aquí para decirte, hermano, hermana, I'm here to tell you that there are mirrors that don't reflect who you really are. They distort you. They deform you. They do damage to your image of yourself. And there are mirrors that distort the way we see other people. Anybody got a smartphone on them? Anybody? Just take it out. Just take it out. Take out your smartphone. Anybody got a dumb phone? Just take that one out too. That dumb phone is the iPhone. Smartphone is the Samsung Galaxy. Just making that. Okay, look. Relax. I got 18 minutes. You know how that works. Put it on camera. Put it on selfie mode. I want you to look in the selfie, and I asked you this morning, what do you see? What do you see? Isn't it fascinating that we live in an age where everybody feels that it's important to put image of themselves up? Like I'm not going to point you out at the TC conference. I'm not going to point out your Snapchat or your Instagram like, here I am at the TC conference glorifying God. We love ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with loving yourself as long as you don't worship yourself. And we have images of ourselves that oftentimes the images we portray of ourselves are very, very flattering. We put ourselves in the best light. My wife, whom I love, I've been married 17 years. Yeah, 4 months. 11 days. 9 hours and 51 minutes with 14 seconds. And my wife, she knows how to do the image and she knows how to do the light, and she tells me, hi, when you take a picture, walk this way because it hides your gut, my magnificent gut. It's fascinating que las imágenes que nosotros ponemos de nosotros mismos son las mejores imágenes. The images we place of ourselves are the best images. What troubles me is that the images we have of other people is not always the best images. How do we see each other? It's fascinating. I've been speaking in youth conferences this whole month because in addition to being the Torrey conference, I know that you all know that it's Hispanic Heritage Month. How many of you knew that before I said that? How many of you are lying in the house of God right now? You're just lying. You didn't even tell me Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, Dr. Salguero. You were like, come on. Tú sabes quién tú eres. And the way we see other people often distorts. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't see the best of them. We don't see the imago Dei, the image of God in them. If they're different, we often, to quote the French philosopher Emmanuel Levinas, all of Western thought suffers from an allergy to l'autre, to the other. We have an allergy to other people. And so when you get this radical vision of an integrated, healed, reconciled, just world, people think you're radical. People think you're crazy. People think that you're getting, as the famous philosopher Scarface said, high on your own supply. Because you have the courage to see differently. Say with me, see differently. Shake your neighbor, shake her lightly, and say, see differently. Shake your neighbor, shake him lightly, and say, see differently. I'm coming down there to see you. Now look, this whole month I've been speaking at colleges. I was in Iowa. It's the name of a movie. A Puerto Rican goes to Iowa. And I was in Olivet in Bourbonnais, Illinois, and I was in Florida at a different college, and now I'm here in California to speak to you. And you know what's fascinating? Every time I speak at a youth conference, I can't see you. Because it's a thing now to dim the lights and make the preacher feel like a cuchifrito. Like you're in a rotisserie and they're baking you and you're like, people think that I come down because I'm Puerto Rican. No, I come down because I'm blind, I can't see. Turn up the house lights, will you? I want to see you. I want to see your face. I want to know your name. Where everybody knows your name. Oh, some of y'all got that. Some of you are like, yeah. And they're always glad you came. That's from Cheers. You don't know that. Isaiah 11 is a radical vision. It's seeing a different world that is formed by a kingdom optic. It's putting on a new set of glasses. It's seeing the humanity and the sisterhood and the brotherhood, the sorority and fraternity of the human race. It is seeing the beauty of people. The problem and the challenge, el reto, que nosotros no podemos ver la gente. He was worried. He thought I didn't see him. The reason we can't see people is because we have things pulling us away from each other. Because to get to see somebody, you have to be close. The power of proximity. What's your name, sister?
Sarah.
Sarah, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Can I give you a side hug? Side hug. This is just for all you future pastors, when you're going to hug the opposite sex, side hug is the safe one. The side hug. Get yourself in trouble. I give you one credit, ministerial credit, side hug. What's your name? DT. DT, does it stand for? Okay. You have a fan back there. The reason you can't see somebody is because there are things that make you distant from each other. The other day I was flying into, can I sit next to you? The other day I was flying into San Diego. Okay. And the pilot comes on and he says, I don't know what he said because on a plane he's like, ladies and gentlemen. But then I discovered, because the steward and the stewardess came out, he says, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot land. We're going to have to go to the 3 letters I detest the most after a 6-hour flight, LAX. I'm kidding, por favor. And I was like, wait a minute, I just flew 6 hours. I'm going to have to land in LAX, and then I'm going to have to take a shuttle bus to San Diego, however long that takes, 2 hours, whatever. And I said, but why? And he says, because there's fog. I submit to you that we have fog in America. And that's why people can't catch, what's your name, brother?
Josué.
Josué, ¿tú hablas español?
Sí.
¿De dónde tú eres?
México.
México, ¡viva la raza! We have a fog problem that is often messing us up from having the radical vision of the kingdom of God. To sitting next to people who don't look like us, who don't think like us, who don't dance like us. You might waltz and I might merengue, but you're my sister, you're my brother. And the challenge is that few people are standing up and saying, there is an alternative. Say with me, there's an alternative. But say it like you ate breakfast this morning, there's an alternative. Yes, there is. Watch out, because here I come. And the alternative is to put on kingdom glasses. Isaiah had a vision. She's nervous. She's like, is he coming over here? I met you yesterday, didn't I? You're a black Pentecostal. You're a Pentecostal. I see you. I see you. Isaiah had a vision, and John had a vision of the Basileo Totheo, the kingdom of God. It is a crazy vision. Frankly, if you didn't believe in God, you would call it utopic. But it's not utopic, it's real. Isaiah put it in very colorful language. The lion shall lay with the lamb. Really? In what jungle does the lion lay with the lamb, Mindy? Yeah, I saw you. You thought I was like, wow, he's really Pentecostal. No, you got the name. I see you. The only place where the lion can lay with the lamb is in a kingdom where people change their diet. The lion has to become a vegetarian, and the lamb has to become more assertive. Hermanos y hermanas, the reason we have a problem in America and in the world is because people have sold you the wrong set of classes. Republicans can't hang out with Democrats. Democrats can't hang out with Republicans. Independents can't hang out with anybody but each other. Conservatives can't hang out with progressives. Look at me. In the eternity, there are no separate houses. Get used to hanging out with me, because my mansion is going to be next to yours, and I'm going to be blasting the reggaeton like all night. I'm like, oh, man. But don't pigeonhole me, because I could play some Beethoven's Ninth. Don't get it twisted. If you see me, see all of me. My educated Western me, my Latino Pentecostal me, my Reformed theology formed me the husband, me the father, me the pastor, me the son, me the brother, me the neighbor. See me. Mírame. Hey, mírame. Don't let anybody give you the wrong vision of the world. Don't let anybody poison your contacts. Have a clear vision that God has called you and me to love each other across difference. The lion will lay with the lamb. It's not that the lion's going to go around the lamb. The lion is going to sit on the lamb's lap.
Yeah, baby.
Put it up for Todd, all right? Yeah! I see you. I see you. We have a vision problem. The word in the New Testament is ani, translated in the King James Version, behold, translated in the English NIV, look, translated in Boricuaville, mira. Listen. What has blinded us from our shared humanity? Is your party more important than people? Is my race more important than people? Is your gender more important than people? When I see you, I have to see all of you. Woman, intelligent, beautiful, strong. Man, handsome, intelligent, strong, humble. And the problem is that somehow the lenses of whatever it is making you judge people before you ever sat next to them. If God were coffee, he'd ask you to sit down and take a drink. And drink it to the last cup until you've understood the essence of the grains from which it came. Can you see me? My son's favorite wrestler is John Cena, who I like to call wanna be a thug. Before he does something drastic to you, what does he do? He puts his hand in his face and he goes, who knows what this is? What? That's the problem. That's why you can leg drop somebody, because you can't see him. Hermanos y hermanas, who has bewitched us? Who has told you and me that our political and partisan allegiance comes before the cross? Who told us that? Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Drink some coffee. Tell them I'll call them right back. The left, the right, the center. Who is your ophthalmologist? Who is telling you that because somebody thinks differently from you, they are not your brother or your sister? ¿Quién te engañó? I'm here because I am a prisoner of hope. When I was growing up, I lived in a very tough neighborhood. Anybody poor growing up, poor? Anybody poor? Who has the courage to confess it? Anybody poor? Still poor? Who's college poor? You're poor right now, like student debt poor. Come on. Man, I got 1 minute and 53 seconds. The devil is a liar. I'm from Latin America. Time is different for us. But I'm in North America, so I respect the culture that invited me. That's called meeting people in the middle. Anybody college poor? Well, there's some people who weren't poor were growing up. They were po. You know what po is, right? You so broke you can't afford the O or the R. You po. There are people who are poorer than that. They puh. Then there are people who are so toe up from the flow up that they're not even puh. They're the silent P of pneumatology. That was me. And people judged me. I had holes in my shoes. People judged me because I lived in a very challenging neighborhood. But don't get it twisted. Your money is not your identity. Jesus says no human being can serve two masters, God and wealth. They will love one and hate the other. That does not mean you cannot have money. That does not mean you cannot be affluent. You can have things. What you can never permit is for things to have you. And people saw me through that lens, and people judged me. And in my youth, I was bitter. And where I was growing up, there were tensions between blacks and Latinos, gang fights. I had to run home. For years, there was a gang called the TDK, the Dangerous Kids, and the 5 Percenters, and the Nation of Islam. Thank God for the church who healed that city. Let me tell you what happened after a while. After a while, the blacks and the Latinos stopped fighting because the Italians moved in and they teamed up together to beat them up. Why? Because we couldn't see each other. But as the YouTube prophetess says, ain't nobody got time for that. It is time where we need a generation so encaptured by a vision of the kingdom of God that they will tell the lion, change your diet. They will tell the lamb, be courageous. As Quixote said, to dream the impossible dream, to see a new world. I believe it, I see it, and I want to know if anybody else is going to join the party.
Discover who you're called to be at Biola University, a leading Christ-centered university in Los Angeles, with programs on campus and online. Subscribe for more of our videos and learn more at biola.edu.